Ludwig, take it away with some of the ideas that you had about promoting Telly and using it to promote yourself on DJ and different ideas you had.
Okay, the main thing is we have a good program to send anything on the stream. You can do a camera on screen. I did some live shows with 3 cams with telemedia, and that's so much things we can do, but we need more to contact the venue outside from a show. You know, is any one of you using iWall?
I use it, but not out at the minute. I've been playing around with it at home. Yes.
iWall has a function calling groups, where you can group the incoming messages to send them out a message for the next show or anything. It's a good idea, but only it works for SMS. SMS is something like a dying feature. The most of the people are using WhatsApp or Line or Viber or Facebook, and we need more connections into Facebook. The idea I had, and I told Don and other programmers, we need something where you can connect with all your Facebook friends to the wall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Because I don't know, you are from the United States, the other ones, I think Kelly is from Great Britain, is it correct?
I am from UK, yeah.
Yeah. And if we do our own shows, we have to start up an event on Facebook or buy posters and hang it up, anything. But we have a lot of Facebook friends, but Facebook will always be more expensive if you want to get in connection with your friends. You can only invent 300 people, I think so. And we need more connection out to our friends. It's a new dawn. We need more connection possibilities to our venue. I think so. It's your opinion or not?
I used to work in a nightclub years ago, not DJing. I used to work behind the scenes in the office. And I think what you're talking about is something that we used to do. We would pay for a text service, and then we would send out a massed text message that would tell them about which club nights were coming up. We would also send the messages about what drinks were on offer, etc., etc. So, and we would send like 2,000-3,000 texts at a time. People would sign up to receive them. Is that something you mean?
Well, that is what exactly what I mean. We have a good software, and we need something more that we have not to pay an extra service. Email we can send ourselves. SMS we can send ourselves. And if we have something which is connected to our screen output or anything, we should be able to connect ourselves, not using another service.
Can you kind of explain? Are you talking about like the way I use it or have used it is people that send me a text message that goes onto the screen. I group the numbers together and then send them a mass text message because I'll have their phone numbers and I'll send them a text message inviting them to the next party or to the next event or whatever it is, as a promotion. Is that what you're kind of talking about?
That is exactly what I'm talking about. But for the moment, we have only SMS to send a text message out, and we need more ways to connect to them. The most young people have contracts where text messages are not included. I talk about Germany. I don't know where it's in the other countries. In Germany, you can exclude text messages. So you have only telephone and internet with your contract. So we need WhatsApp or Viber or Line. Or maybe it's possible, and maybe the others can program it, to send a Facebook message to each single user. So, hey guys, next party here, like that. You can send a picture, a flyer, or something like a QR code for a free drink or free entrance.
In the UK, most mobile phone contracts, free text messaging, it's unlimited text messages. So over here we don't have a problem with that, but WhatsApp is popular. But what you're talking about sounds ever so much like the app that Pete was talking about he's creating. Do you not think, Max and Sean?
Yes, I've seen Pete. Wait, say that again, Kelly. I didn't hear the whole thing.
What Ludwig is hoping to do sounds a lot like what Pete was doing in his app.
Ludwig, are you familiar with Pete Gibson from the Facebook page?
No.
He has developed he's trying to develop a application that will run with televisuals and telemedia that can Kelly, can you help me on this? I'm not quite Max.
I'm just going to message Pete. Hang on, because I'm friends with him on Facebook. I'm going to see if he can come and join in.
He's developed something. Go ahead, Max.
He's creating an Android app that will interface with Telly and Facebook, Twitter, and all the social media sites to allow you to do more functions like grouping and stuff like that. One thing I would want to mention with the SMS, specifically in the United States, new laws have passed for mass texting people. You actually have to have a way for them to opt out of it, and they have to actually subscribe to you to get those mass texts. If you just start sending them out, you can get fined here in the United States.
We have the problem right here in Germany, but I have talked to a lawyer, and he talked to me and said me, if you send one message where you inform them and give them a code to kick it out, it won't be any problem. Don't know if the United States have the same things. So you can send the first message, hey, you are subscribed a newsletter. If you don't want it, send only one time stop, and you will never get any messages again.
That's similar to what you're supposed to do here in the United States, and IMU also supports that right now, and that's what I use for my SMS stuff. It also supports grouping and bulk sending right now. Unfortunately, IMU does not incorporate any social media, so Twitter and Facebook I have to do from my apps, whether on my mobile device or here on the browser.
IMU is what I use as well, Ludwig. It's another form of text messaging that people can text pictures, they can text messages to the screen. It's kind of like iWall, but iWall I think has more of the social networks. I'm not familiar with iWall that much. I haven't used it.
Yes, I think I don't know what the future is come, but Facebook is for the moment one thing you have to click every people manual to send them an invention or anything, and that's so a lot. The people go to my site, click, I'm your friend, yeah, but you have to do anything manual, and that's it steals my time. I want to have some spare time too.
But if you have a business page, you don't have to invite people individually. You can just create everything on the business page. is public, completely public. And I mean, we've got 1,600 likes on our business page, but some of our posts can hit 4,000 or 5,000 people reach. They actually see the post. Max,
Yes,
I think
but
business page
but
as
there
well.
are only one time in the timeline. If you have a lot of friends, it's just hidden a few. Hello.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Can you
Jamie.
hear us?
We need something to connect personally. I don't know how other people do it here, but many often I got a personal PM message from people I don't recognize, I don't know about, which sent me an invention to a single event.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
And,
feel like that's spam, Ludwig? Do you like that when people send you things?
I think it's you can call it spam, but it's from a single site I have liked before. It's from a club, and then a few days later I got a message from somebody I don't know, and he went me over personal message to a party in the club. So I don't know how they do that. They cannot do it manual. And that's the way we should try to market in the future to get a greater venue. And we have to, okay?
What about other than Facebook, maybe Twitter? Are you talking only specifically Facebook? Or are you talking other social media?
We need, I talked to Don and I said him, we need every social media. Like a plug-in for the outgoing messenger to use every social media. In the near future, I think a lot of people leave Facebook. There's Hello, it's a new one. We need Google+. Google is a real good thing, but we need more connection to it. No messenger, not iWall, not anything has a connection to Google. Okay.
Well, a lot of the direct messaging from, say, Facebook, for example, is limited within Facebook because of spam reporting and stuff like that. So they actually don't allow that within their policy. So you'd almost have to do it on your wall. And I understand that it only happens once, so you'd have to just keep repeating it. So like every hour or so, repeat your post to keep it up on top of people's wall if that's the way you want to get in touch with them. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea. Something like an automatic repost function. So you can post it on your wall again and again.
I know there's apps that will do that for Twitter, and they'll post every hour and stuff. And I have my Twitter feed go to my business Facebook page. So if I post something on Twitter, it's also posted on my Facebook wall. And that may be the way you want to do it. Then you're getting, I know you're getting two of them at that point. I don't know if, I think Instagram has a Twitter connection as well, and I don't know who else does, because I only use Facebook and Twitter right now. But if you post from one, then it goes to all of them. And if you just post to one every hour, that's really not that time consuming, or every 2 hours or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh, I have not thought about this idea, but it's really good. But maybe we can connect it in a program that we only have to use one program to post all our things only by one click.
SPDJ used to have a plugin for Twitter in Virtual DJ, and I know that's not working now, but he's supposed to have been writing it so you can actually post to Twitter from your DJ application right off the bat. I don't know of any other ones that can run at the same time. You know, I wouldn't want to run too many other applications while I'm DJing either. But I think what you're talking about is outside of events, when you're just getting ready to do something, or you're trying to promote an event that's upcoming. And for that, just an app on the phone may work, like the Twitter app.
Don't forget as well, on Facebook, you can schedule posts. So you can create as many posts as you like on a business page, this is, and then you can tell it what time you want it to post. So you can schedule a post to post at 7 p.m. You can schedule another post to post at 8 p.m. And when you have a business page, you can do that. And I actually schedule all my weekend posts. I normally do it on a Friday morning, and then they post intermittently over the weekend. And I don't have to go back on Facebook again until Monday morning if I didn't want to.
Okay.
Kelly, do you know if that'll repeat posts?
Actually, I don't know. I can have a look. I can have a search and see. I don't tend to repeat posts for the main reason, you know, on Facebook you get these sponsored posts that keep coming up and coming up and coming up, and you end up seeing the same post about 50 times. Me personally, drives me up the wall because I don't want to keep seeing the same thing. So you need to be careful that you don't post it too many times, that it loses you fans and followers because they get fed up with you self-promoting.
Yep.
You need to find that happy medium between what's good for you and what's good for your client base. You don't want to saturate them so that they think, oh, that Ludwig or that Max, they're really annoying, and they just click unsubscribe, and then they'll never see anything.
And
so
that's,
you need... Go on, Sean.
I was just going to say, and that's what my worry is if I post on Facebook, and there's friends I have that are not even in my area, or maybe older, and they would never come to an event, but they keep seeing posts from me. I have one friend, and I must get 20 requests a week to play Candy Crush on Facebook. And I tell her, I said, I don't play this. And she said, I don't know why it keeps coming. But I almost yesterday defriended her because I get Candy Crush and I don't play that and I don't like it.
Sean, all you've got to do is block Candy Crush. It'll be gone.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah, you block Candy Crush.
I did not know. I did not know. But I'm just saying I don't want to appear like I'm like, because I have a lot of DJ friends that all they talk about is where they're going to be and, you know, how great they are and this and that. And I'm like, it's too much. It seems like too much to me.
Now, Twitter also has an option where you can schedule posts, and you can actually have a separate group for promoting posts where your normal followers won't get it, just people in your promoted group will get it. I just actually in the chat window, I clicked the link to that so you can read up a little more on that.
Oh, really? Facebook doesn't have that, huh?
I don't know if they have a way to separate it for promoted posts. I know you can schedule posts like Kelly was saying, but I don't know if they have a way to separate certain groups or anything.
Okay.
That's one nice thing about Google is it does have the circles. And I think Facebook was doing something with circles.
Oh, Max, where's he gone?
Uh-oh. I bet he hit the wrong button.
He probably did know it.
He'll be back. Jamie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from and what kind of things do you do?
Hey guys, I'm from Milwaukee. I DJ at the Lacage nightclub, and here in Milwaukee, it's actually pretty big. We just got done with our Pride weekend, and that went over very well. But I do a lot of video work in the club. We have like over 30 different monitors, so anything that I can do to promote and whatnot, I'm always looking, searching.
Do you do music videos?
Oh, tons of music videos. I belong to a group of people. We for the remixes. So any kind of remix out there, we sync the video, the regular video, so that everything matches up, and we distribute it amongst ourselves. We don't really give out to other people, but that's pretty much what we do. Otherwise, we'd never find the video remix that we need. They just don't make them.
Do you use televisuals and telemedia? Are you new to the televisuals?
Televisuals and telemedia I've been using for a while. I've been using, what is it, Wall, something Wall.
iWall.
Yeah, and I tried it for, I don't know, about 30 days, and I it didn't seem to pull in people for me. So I'm trying different venues. The people at our club are so ADD, they don't want to look at screens or they don't want to pull out their phones to communicate with me. They're just not into that texting stuff on the screen. So they're into the visuals. They're just lazy in our part of the country, I guess. They don't really want to incorporate the phones.
What kind of things do you find work for you at the club as far as video?
As long as I have video, any kind of stimulation. I know that when I have scrolling text on the screen, people do respond to it. So, like, if I do have a request line, I have a Google number that is associated with a request line, and they'll use that every now and then. But then I get stuff that you guys get. I get the spam once I put that up on the screen. So that's kind of funny hearing about the Candy Crush stuff. But I totally understand where you guys are coming from.
So you're saying you get spam from people?
From people. Once people get my text, or once people get my number and it goes through their phone, I start getting all kinds of weird stuff popping up on the screen. So after a while, I got rid of it. I got rid of iWall, and like I said, I just wanted to see if there was anything new out there that would do text to screen. So I'm just exploring, I guess.
Wow, that's interesting.
Really, the only way to get out of that I could think of is either to manually watch each post, and you could do some things like with the filter list where it blocks censor words and stuff like that, but it's still hard to get rid of all of it without having someone just sit there and watch it. And that's hard to do if you're also the DJ, you know.
Right. It really does take a second person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I thought about as far as what Ludwig was talking about was how do you guys feel about using a section of your video screen maybe for sponsorship, Coca-Cola, beer, anything that you could put their logo. Has anybody ever tried anything like that with their logo?
I don't think I would sponsor or have someone be sponsored on my screen if I'm getting paid by another venue.
Yeah.
I can see the venue's own sponsors being up there.
Right.
Not myself. Do you remember when I was showing pictures of how I do the televisuals for my St. Baldrick's event?
Mm-hmm.
I actually had scrolling ads and stuff in a few of those images.
Right.
So you just put that in like the clip bank or whatever, and it just scrolls through each one of those ads, and that's where I did it in the bottom corner of my screen.
Ludwig, have you ever thought of anything like that?
It's really interesting to hear everything. My brain starts to work, but I have not a really idea at the moment. The other thing I have talked about is bar quizzes, pub quizzes. Do any one of you something like this?
I do quizzes, yeah.
Maybe say everything yes.
I tried it, but the problem is you can't get the content. So if you're going to make quizzes all the time, you're going to have to make a crap load in order for people to keep engaged. It's kind of like the NTN systems that we have in the United States. When you go to a bar or a sporting event bar, there's an actual gaming console that people pick up, you know. It's an actual pad where you could type in answers or whatnot. So there's a company out there that does that. The problem is, for us to do quizzes, we would have to spend all day making these quizzes, and then once people take them, they're not going to want to retake them because you've already done them. So it seems to be a one-shot thing. It doesn't seem like you can regenerate, unless there's a different company out there that's producing the content.
Yeah. If you just only work for clubs, it's not so easy to do that. The most work I do is are my own parties in different locations, and so I think about maybe a 90s or 80s quiz where you use SMS to send them the question. Have a program which get the answer, send the next question, anything, and so the one who have the most real correct questions, the most correct answers, they get a VIP ticket or a free drink or anything, and then you can do the same thing inside a club, where you have a live act or so, and on the screens you always send a question about the live act. They answer with their mobile phone, and then they get a meet and greet to the stars or anything that will connect the people back to you. You know what I mean?
So Ludwig, I'm wondering. So when you do the quizzing stuff, do you get a lot of people who participate, or is it generally a select few people who participate?
If I do those quizzes, I tried it and do it manually. I have a lot of people who answer to my questions. We talk about 300. I think it's for little bars, a lot of people. And it's much funny stuff. Kelly, your clubs are really bigger than mine are. So, but, okay.
Please, I just had to jump in. I had an idea, Kelly. What about while you're DJing, using maybe a scroller underneath? You're doing your DJ thing and you're having the party, but maybe a quiz rolling while you're DJing that you can set up beforehand.
Well, up until all of our quizzes, up till now, we only really do them at Christmas time. I'm not a club DJ at all. Not interested, have no interest in being in a room full of people that think they have to get drunk as a skunk to enjoy themselves. We're mobile, private parties, specialise in weddings. We do, at Christmas time, we do 2 separate restaurants. We do all their Christmas parties. And up until this year, I'm going to do it differently because of something that Ludwig wrote in the group. I normally prepare the quizzes. I start doing them about October time, and I spend a fortune on printing. I print probably 500 of each quiz, and I probably prepare 10 or 15 quizzes to get us through the whole of December. And we do picture quizzes. Most of the time, do you know what dingbats are? If I say dingbats, dingbats quizzes, picture like album covers, pictures of famous album covers. You've got to guess who the album is, and then we'll do a music quiz where you play something, they have to, and everybody writes the answer. And the reason that we've done it like that is because you get all different companies coming for a Christmas party, and you get them to go and talk to a totally different company, and they swap answer sheets. So it gets people talking to each other, gets them all interacting with each other, and they have to mark it off. But I actually really like the idea of having the questions on the screen this coming Christmas.
Right.
We've done the same restaurant for 13 years, so having it different this year would be great. So would be good.
It would be digital instead of on paper. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely. But I've got to find a way. If I'm going to put the questions on the screen, I've got to find a way for them to give me the answers.
The way to give the answer would be send a message back with a mobile phone. That was the main idea.
Yeah, definitely an idea, definitely. But the really good thing is, the thing that I like about the way that we've done it is we really have a lot of interaction with each table. And I can walk around the tables and you can make fun of some of the answers, because some of the answers are so ridiculous. And I think maybe texting, I think it might take away that personal touch. I don't want to go to a party and every guest is sitting there. I just don't want to be at an event and they're all staring at their phones. I want them to be interacting with what I'm doing. I want them to be enjoying the music that I'm playing, the banter that I'm saying. That's my biggest worry about all the text screen and everything. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I think you nailed it right on the head, Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at getting a digigame system for quizzes and stuff like that, and they have the new one that you can use the app on the phone. But I'd rather have the push buttons, and people are more personal. They're not looking at their phone because as soon as they're on their phone and they're doing that app, they get a little notification from Facebook or they get an email, and it just
Yeah.
completely takes them out of what they're doing there at the event.
Well, like Kelly said, that's for a specific event, but in my circumstance, we're trying to get people to come in, whether they're dancing, whether they're drinking, whether they're playing pool, whether they're playing darts. We're just trying to get people in there. And if they're looking at the videos playing, that's one thing, and they like them. But I think another, in my case only, I can't speak for anybody else, but I think another aspect of having the text on the screen with the questions and answers where they could use their phone would be is something that I might have to look into.
I mean, people love to watch music videos. I mean, we only added music videos. We probably had about 20, just Christmas ones up until end of last year. I think we've now got about 4,000. And I have to say, when we're doing our shows and people see, especially if you play something from the 80s, and because a lot of our parties, you're talking about 30, 40, 50-year-olds, they love it because it brings back memories. It's something I've really noticed. And when we do karaoke, because I'm a karaoke host as well, I don't now have an empty screen in between karaoke songs. I've now got music videos playing. And that's something that's fantastic. I mean, that's brilliant. And at the karaoke, the scrolling text is fantastic. It really, really works. But I think it is all going to depend on that particular event. I don't know if you could use the same, what's the blueprint? I don't think you could use the same blueprint for every single event. I think unless you do the same venue all the time.
Well, I do the same venue all the time, and I have to change it up all the time. We have different guests every single night. So one Saturday night will be totally different than another Saturday. So, one night I can get away playing with 80s, and the other night I might have to, go a little bit more urban. So it just really depends.
Is it is it a specific club, or do you have different rooms that have got different genres going on as well?
Well, that's what we would like it to be, but we don't have enough clientele to do that on every day of the week. So we have 3 levels that are open. We have the basement, which is ETC. We have the middle, which is the main room. It holds about 300, 400 people. That's the dance club area. And then we have the upstairs, which is a show lounge. And all 3 levels have TVs. They're all interconnected. They're all playing music videos and whatnot. So right now, it's all the same music that I'm playing in the DJ booth. We wanted 3 different types of music, but for our, I guess, clientele, they just want top 40. They don't want anything else. And if they wanted something else, they will go to a different bar.
That's
so
a shame.
our city is very segregated in that way, and I don't want to speak negatively. It's not really a negative thing. It's just more of a matter of fact. We have so many bars per capita that each bar is known for their one thing, and it doesn't matter how you divide it. You're known for that one thing. So if you want 80s, you're going to go to Mad Planet. If you're, Mad Planet is another popular place that we have in Milwaukee. And if you want, every bar has their own clientele is what I'm getting at. So it just depends.
I need to write that down then, Mad Planet, when I go to Milwaukee.
And you'll catch me finding, like for example, yesterday we had a bike ride where we had 400 bikers come into the bar for about an hour, and I wound up playing 80s all throughout that time. It was just absolutely amazing, and I played the music videos to go along with it. And they were so intrigued, and everybody was dancing on the dance floor. I've never seen that in the middle of the day, so that was amazing. So, yeah, 80s are still popular.
It's because we all look at the videos and we think to ourselves, did we really go out the house looking just like that?
That's correct. 80s.
Ludwig, tell us about your bar. What are you playing, or your club?
I play all kinds of music. I like the 80s. I'm more than I call me party DJ. I am playing the 80s, the 90s. Yeah. I play all kinds. Never do more than 20 minutes the same kind of music. I change all the rhythms, all the kinds, 80s, 90s, 70s, good old rock and roll, anything that makes you fun, that makes you move.
Sounds good.
If I have it, I like to use videos. I'm not so good as you, but if we play 80s, that's the thing I feel, and that's what I ask the guests what they feel. They are all like me, 40 years old, and they think, oh, it's a good old MTV time. All of it, watch these videos. We sit at home and watch the videos and see what Madonna is wearing, and nobody will wear that today. Or if you're wearing that today, you have a great sister or anything. Music videos, screens is a good thing, and we have to work against the thing. Always look in your mobile phone. That's what I hating really. The one thing, I like text to screen, and I love my televisual, I love the thing, but the other side is all the people on the dance floor look at the video. Can you play this song? Can you play this song? And I say, no, you have a headphone, hear it yourself.
How are you using televisuals and telemedia on your shows?
The most time I do votings. That's
what kind of voting do you do?
Maybe what's your favorite song in the 80s? So I do a voting for 20 minutes, and then I play that song that the people have voted. That is one thing. Televisuals is good for me. I put it in the right upper corner, and the people can vote their next songs. Not always talking to me. I have done my job. We do something like, which drink do you prefer for the next special time? This kind I use televisions.
You're using iWall to do that, though, right?
The most time I use IMU from Pangolin.
Okay.
I have both. iWall is, I have former used fire texts the last years, but we have tried to connect fire text with Telly, but the programmers of fire text are not interested really in. So we have to use the new one. So I try iWall or the Pangolin one. Both are really good for voting. And we got much information about that, maybe of 80s parties, so we can do a voting. Would you like to hear the next 3 or 4 weeks the sound of the 90s or the sound of the 80s? And so I can decide the next parties.
So, how many questions on average do you post a night, and do you post the same ones, for the rest of your gigs that you do? Or, I mean, are the same questions there for the next group of people, or the next night with the same group of people? Or are they the different group of people? I'm just curious on how many different questions do you post throughout the night.
It's different. If I use it for the next special time for drinks, I change 4 or 5 questions a night. If I do it for the next parties, I do the same questions about 3 or 5 parties. So to have a long time for decision. It's okay. You want?
Oh, no, I guess the reason why I'm asking is because, like I said, people here in Milwaukee are very ADD. It's like, you know, they want to hear 1 minute of a song and they're on to the next, which I'm totally against. I mean, I'm from the 90s, I guess, where dance music was 12 minutes long. Would I play 12-minute music? No. But it's the same thing with text messages. It's kind of like, you know, I see it up on the screen. Do I really want to respond? And if they don't like what they see, they're not going to respond. So it's kind of like you have to keep the momentum going. You have to keep new stuff on the screen at all times. And I'm thinking to myself, if there, like I said, if there was a database which I could pull questions off of, so I don't have to sit down and try to reinvent myself all night long, that'd be one thing. But it sounds like the people that you're communicating with really have a good rapport, and they actually like to communicate back with you. Like they're on their phone and they want to actually text back to you. That's what it sounds like.
No, if I do some question about the next parties, I use the wall every 10 minutes, only for a minute to show the question. But I'm working a lot of time with a microphone, and so I inform the people, hey, look at my screens. Here is the next question for you. Send me an answer SMS. And you will be a part of the next party. Okay. Or if I do something like a question about the next drinks, the next cheap ones, I tell them, now you have 5 minutes to make your decision. Look at my screens and then answer it.
I like that. I like that a lot. If you can interact with your microphone as well as putting it on the screen, the 5 minute, I like that. I like that a lot. I really do, because I think people in my experience, they need to be led to what to do. I mean, you can just put everything on the screen that you want, but if you don't talk to them and you know, I'm not saying they're dumb, but you gotta like tell them, hey, do this, do it. It's cool, because you know, Jamie, I don't know, I take pictures at my events and have them go up onto the screen. And that's another thing, you know, to add variety. I walk around the crowd and take pictures and put them in a spot on the screen. When I do kids events and I say on the microphone, come get your picture taken, they will stand there and look at me for 3 seconds, and then when the first kid comes running over, then they all come running over. It's like a group mentality of, what are we doing? And then one will come up, and then it's cool all of a sudden. In that 10 seconds. So, you know, if you can say something on the mic, people, I think, will do it. I like that idea.
For Jamie and Ludwig, I know, I don't know if you've had a hangout with other people.
This is the first hangout, thank you, by the way.
On the side, you should be able to see the chat. There's like a chat panel, and I've posted a link in there, which is a really good quiz site. And I've also posted a link for a good video, if you don't, for music videos as well. You might already use specific ones, I don't know. But so I don't know if you can you both see all the chat going on the side as well?
No, I don't have any chat information. Like I said, this is the first one. All I see is you guys at the bottom of the screen and then the main screen.
Jamie, are you on a PC?
Oh, go on, Max, you can do it. Go on.
Are you on a PC, Jamie?
I'm on a tablet and a phone.
Okay. Are you using a web browser at all? On the tablet?
It's the app, Google Hangout app.
Okay.
I have a tablet too, and if I don't get the link, I will text you a message on Facebook. We are connected as well.
Okay. If all you need to do is just hover to the left-hand side of your screen.
They can't do that on a tablet.
Can they not do it? No.
Is there a menu bar on your screen for the tablet? A menu bar?
No menu bar, nothing.
No.
Oh.
I'm on an Android device.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm hoping that this is recording, so you guys will be able to see the chat. I think, Kelly, will they be able to see it if it's recording?
No, not the chat. No. It's all right. I can send the links. It's not a problem. I can
Put some
do
links
that.
for a quiz. You know, let me ask you about that quiz. Does the quiz interact with IMU, Ludwig? Is it something that you?
No, I'm you, and I will have no quizzes. Firetext has it had before, but it was not really usable. So I talked about Don and give him the information I want to, and he has it on his great list. And I hope if more of us like it and we can promote the idea, I think we will have it maybe on Christmas time. But we have to make a decision what everything is really usable for us. I have a lot of ideas, but I don't know if all my ideas are so really good. I think it's good, really. But if we're a group of people who have a good idea and can bring it into a really something like a list, maybe Don or other programmers will be a part of it, and we can use it in the near future.
I know IMU Pro has a trivia feature, but you got to spend a lot of money for the Pro version. This is something they're using, and they only implemented it for Coca-Cola was doing a promotion and stuff like that. They did quizzes, and I don't know if they're going to implement that or allow that in their new release that's coming out. That's what I'm hoping for. I haven't found anything else that interacts directly within the software that will do the quizzes or trivia. Except for like DigiGames has their own software which you can do quizzes and trivia in that. And I don't know if there's a way. I guess if I was doing DigiGames on one computer and then I could pipe the feed into a capture card and do it through Telly, but that's kind of like a workaround. It's not really a one solution.
Is there a way they can have a I don't know if Telly could do a window that was just open where you could add another software in, whatever you wanted to add.
Don looked at some of the screen capture and stuff like that to be able to do stuff like that, but I think that you're risking taking a lot of resources away from your computer. Yeah. And if the one app has a glitch, what does it do to your performance? Does it kill your audio or something else?
Yeah.
That's why having it all within the one app and through plugins works so well, because Virtual DJ, for example, can manage, okay, this plugin's having a problem. I'm not going to drop out my audio. I'm just going to have a problem with the plugin and deal with it. Every time I've had any kind of glitch or issue, Virtual DJ has kept the music going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ludwig, are you writing your questions manually?
What?
Are you writing your questions manually? Are you just typing them in like the week before the event?
I write down my questions manually. I do it a text on my desktop, and I just drag and drop it into televisuals, or I will while I'm doing my shows.
I love it. I love it.
Sean, no staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning again, writing quizzes.
Well, is it illegal to copy and paste the quiz into a scrolling text? I mean, isn't that how you would do it? Just
you could do a Google search. They have free quiz databases and stuff like that. But again, you still got to manually transfer them. What's that, Kelly?
That link I posted is free.
Okay.
There's hundreds, absolutely hundreds. It's not. I don't think it's been updated recently, but there's some fantastic quizzes there. There's sports quizzes, music quizzes, politics, world, flags, and there's all sorts of different stuff. It depends how intellectual you think your guests are.
In order to do these quizzes, we have to manually put them in, correct?
at the moment.
Yeah.
Correct.
There's no way
At
to
the
actually
moment.
tell them.
I know Don had also been approached about adding a way to pull from a text file, you know, in a certain interval and stuff like that, and he was looking into it. I don't know if that's been developed anymore or if it's been thought about again. So
See,
that
now
may be something with.
I would totally entertain that idea. That sounds actually really, really nice. But like I said, with all the people that are ADD, I am so focused on playing the next song that pulling up any other information for me is just, I mean, it takes way too much time.
It would have to be automated.
It
Yeah.
really would have to be automated.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially
That's what I'm. While I'm talking about if our group like it, and if we have an idea, Don or another programmer, there's so much programmers I know about, can do that. And if we 5 here think about it, that would be a good idea. I think a lot of DJs think about the same one. And if we have Sinclair, you know about digital games, D games. It's a real great market on this. They're really expensive, and if we have our own software, especially for DJs, especially for clubs, that will be a market for this. And I think if we get together and find the one and only quizzes software, or we let them program, there will be a market for the programmer too.
Unfortunately, I mean, Pete replied, he said he couldn't make it tonight, which was a shame, because he would be able to tell us how easy it could be to add to the app that he's creating, because his app is more or less ready, because Pete is actually beta testing it himself. So I think he could probably do something like this, definitely, but it's only for Android at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my big drawback, is it's only Android.
That's
Even
good for me.
If I could run it on another PC, if it was PC based, I could make that work, you know.
Yeah.
But all my devices are iOS.
Yeah.
So his app is for a phone?
Yes, it's an or Android tablet.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
That's how he gets the text messaging part to go through as well.
Did you not listen, Sean? When we
I
were
thought, and he put a whole demonstration up, and I did not see that. I thought it was for a PC. How can a phone run everything he was doing? Was amazing.
Well, that's how clever the app is going to be, hopefully. And he's integrated a lot more social media. Obviously, he was talking about WhatsApp, wasn't he? And he was talking about what was the other one? Instagram and everything. So, yeah. Unfortunately, he's just not available. But hopefully, perhaps you could put a post up in the Telly group and see what he says, or maybe contact him directly so that. But I don't think Don would mind if we talk to Pete about it, because obviously Pete has been keeping Don in the loop all the way about his app as well, because they've been talking about it. So I don't want to overwhelm Don with requests, because he seems a bit frazzled at the moment, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's getting a lot.
Jamie, one thing I've done before, you can, in the chat window, you can have it go to, you know, I actually got to pull up Telly to find out the actual name of it, but they have an automatic list that you can have pre-created, and over a certain time, it'll add those in. That's the chat demo. If you go into the options for the chat demo, you can actually edit that content, and then over a certain time, it'll just post something for you in the chat window. Something like that may work for you already.
It's like dummy content, right?
Yeah, it's just static text you've already laid out and put in there. I've actually had to use that for other events, like I do a charity event every year, and there's messages that people are always asking me the same questions over and over again. So every 10 minutes or 20 seconds, whatever the time frame was, I have it post the answer to that question, so they're not asking me all the time.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Yeah. Yeah, I was playing around with the demo content a little bit, but I never used it for the question stuff. So I'll have to look into that a little bit more. I actually stopped using the telemedia televisuals. I was kind of waiting until I heard from other people, but I've been having nothing but crashes. I can guarantee a crash every single night, and it will take down Virtual DJ. And it's the only plugin that's crashing, and nobody seems to have an answer. And that was one of the reasons why I thought I'd join the group, to find out, if other people are experiencing